Environmental Day on state parks. And I have to say, that work still continues. Our work for promoting a sustainable state park system is not over. They're threatened by defunding and privatization attempts. Well, the governor's budget does allow them this year to keep the enhancement dollars. Those are the dollars you and I pay when we go into the park, and keeps them at a bare minimum. It's really not a sustainable system, and we need to continue to work to find a way to properly fund the park so we have a state park system going into the future, and 100 years from now they can say, what wasn't that a great thing that people back then did, and they were so thoughtful and thinking ahead. They're not going to say it about this legislature, let me tell you. I wanted to also mention a few of the bills we're working on and a few of the issues overall. I mentioned earlier the Mexican gray wolf and endangered species, and the wolves are really under attack. And I know it sounds funny that predators need so much protection, but they do. They are species that are not easy to recover, and there continues to be a lot of backlash against wolf recovery overall. In the legislature, we have Senate Bill 1392, which is a bill that allows the governor to enter into a compact on wolves in order to promote delisting of wolves from the endangered species list. A similar bill, 1395, is an endangered species compact, and that is an attempt to have Arizona not have to comply with the Endangered Species Act. There's this theory, and I don't think it's a very good one, but this theory that if we do multi-state compacts, then we are not subject to federal law under the Commerce Clause of the U.S. Constitution. And so that's why they're doing all those compact bills. You'll see there's one on a border fence, there's one on guns, there's one, I mean, almost every subject you can think of. And it's really this attempt not to follow federal law. If it was just that, you might say, all right, well, you know, people disagree, it's a states' rights thing, whatever. But I think the key thing to look at relative to those bills is what's in place if we don't have the Endangered Species Act, and what's in place if we don't have the Clean Air Act. Not much. And if this legislature really wanted to do something about endangered species, they could pass a state endangered species law. They could do that at any time. So it's not just an attempt to say thumb our noses at the federal government. It's really an attempt to get rid of these important protections that have strong enforcement provisions in them. So.